Welcome to a chapter a day. Prepare yourself because what you are about to understand will collapse years of struggle into moments of decision. Here is the truth. Time is not your enemy. Doubt is. You don't manifest slowly. You hesitate slowly. You question slowly. You second-guess slowly. And that hesitation stretches time. But certainty bends it. Certainty compresses it. Certainty collapses timelines instantly. Every version of you already exists. The wealthy version, the confident version, the powerful version, the healed version, the free version, the unstoppable version. They are not in your future. They are in a different state of consciousness. And the moment you hold the energy of certainty, you shift into that version. This is not about positive thinking. This is not about pretending. This is about becoming so internally decided that reality has no choice but to rearrange. You don't attract what you want. You align with what you are certain of. In this audiobook, you will learn how to eliminate internal negotiation, how to command your nervous system into power, how to think, move, and breathe as the version who already has it. And once you do, time collapses. Opportunities accelerate. Doors open. People shift. Money moves. Confidence stabilizes. Results compound. This is not motivation. This is identity engineering. You are not here to try. You are here to decide. And when you decide with certainty, reality obeys. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Decisive identity compresses timelines. You are not waiting on time. Time is responding to you. Timelines do not stretch because the universe is slow. They stretch because identity is undecided. Hesitation is friction. Friction is drag. Drag is delay. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. This is law. Look at your own life. The moments that changed everything were not the moments you figured it out. They were the moments you decided. You chose. You moved. You declared internally, "This is who I am now," and everything reorganized. I do not negotiate with my future. Say it internally. I do not negotiate with my future. High performers understand this. Not because they are special, because they are decisive. They decide once. Then they move as that decision. They do not wake up every morning and revote on their identity. An elite athlete does not debate whether they are committed. A successful founder does not reconsider whether they are building the company. A devoted partner does not renegotiate loyalty daily. They decided. Identity compresses time. When you hesitate, you split your energy. Half moves forward. Half stays behind. That split stretches the timeline because the signal is unclear. Reality responds to clarity. Reality is infinite. In an infinite field, all outcomes exist. Every version of you exists. The prosperous version, the magnetic version, the fulfilled version. The solution is just a frequency away. You do not have to force it into being. You align with it through identity. Hesitation says, maybe. Certainty says, already. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. Your posture shifts. Your tone stabilizes. Your eyes focus. This is not imagination. This is nervous system coherence. When identity is decided, the body relaxes. Breath deepens. Movements sharpen. You walk differently. You speak differently. You choose differently. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity is the natural state of someone who has already decided. Let's make this practical. Imagine someone who wants to change careers. For months they research. They compare. They ask friends. They hesitate. Every day they ask, is this right? What if it fails? That internal debate drains energy. The problem doesn't exist. The only friction is indecision. Then one morning they decide, I am this now. They update their resume. They apply boldly. They introduce themselves differently. They invest in learning. Within weeks, they meet someone at a networking event who offers an introduction. Within days, an email arrives with the exact opportunity. From the outside, it looks like luck. From the inside, it is identity. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. This is not hope. This is law-based alignment. Consider a simple example. You walk down the street holding decisive identity. You are not wondering if life supports you. You know it does. You pass someone who overhears your conversation. They mention a resource you needed. A number is exchanged. A door opens. It feels like something dropped in from the quantum field. It did. The solution is just a frequency away. Or you are scrolling online in a state of receptivity. Not anxious. Not desperate. Calm. Certain. A specific video appears with the exact instructions you need to solve a practical problem. You click it. You implement. Results follow. This is not random. This is resonance. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. When your frequency is stable, impulses arrive. And the perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. You wake up and feel an urge to visit a particular coffee shop. No logical reason. You go. You meet someone there who becomes a partner, a collaborator, even your soulmate. You did not need a strategy. You only needed receptivity. You only needed to decide who you are. Decisive identity removes the noise that blocks impulses. Internal debate is expensive. Every time you question your path, you drain momentum. You rehearse doubt. You train your nervous system to expect delay. But when you say, I do not negotiate with my future, something stabilizes. You stop asking if it will work. You start acting as the one for whom it already works. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Why? Because joy is confirmation. Gratitude is alignment. Laughter is expansion. These are not emotional luxuries. They are calibrations. When you operate from gratitude, you affirm that reality is supportive. When you laugh easily, you affirm safety. When you feel joy, you affirm expansion. And expansion accelerates. The problem doesn't exist. Only indecision exists. The version of you who succeeds is not fighting obstacles. They are moving in clarity. They are grounded, calm, certain. It's about motivation, not surface motivation. Identity-based motivation. The kind that wakes up aligned. The kind that does not need applause. The kind that does not reevaluate daily. Watch someone who is undecided. They start. They stop. They pivot. They retreat. Their calendar is full of adjustments. Their language is full of maybe. Their body is tight. Their breath is shallow. Now observe someone decisive. They choose. They commit. They adjust tactically but never emotionally. Their body is grounded. Their voice is steady. Their movements are efficient. Certainty eliminates friction. When friction disappears, movement accelerates. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That kinetic energy attracts. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. This is not something you earn. It is something you align with. Decisive identity says, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I allow. It does not scream. It does not chase. It does not explain. It moves. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity plus decision is unstoppable. Think of timelines as lanes on a highway. Indecision swerves between lanes. Decision locks into one. Speed increases. Distance compresses. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. So what must you do? Decide once. Choose the identity. Stop renegotiating. When doubt appears, you do not wrestle it. You reaffirm identity. I do not negotiate with my future. You wake up and you reinforce it. You walk as it. You speak as it. You act as it. You hold the frequency of certainty. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. And as you hold it, impulses arrive. People appear. Emails land. Ideas surface. Meetings align. Opportunities reveal themselves. Reality is infinite. There is no shortage of paths. There is no scarcity of outcomes. There is only the question of which identity you stabilize into. Decisive identity compresses timelines because it removes internal contradiction. No contradiction. No delay. The solution is just a frequency away. So today, you end hesitation. You choose. You declare internally, I am this now. Feel the shift. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That is alignment. That is inevitability. That is power. You have mastered the art of decision. Now let's go deeper. Because decision is the spark, but your body must hold it without collapse. You've stabilized identity. Now let's stabilize the system that carries it. Chapter 2. Certainty is a nervous system state. Certainty is not a thought. It is a regulation. It is not something you argue yourself into. It is something your body stabilizes into. Most people attempt to think their way into confidence. They repeat affirmations while their shoulders are tight. They declare abundance while their breathing is shallow. They visualize success while their stomach is clenched. The mind says yes. The body says danger. And when the body signals danger, timelines stretch. Because your nervous system governs your signal. Certainty is biological, not intellectual. Your body must feel safe in expansion. If expansion feels unsafe, you will unconsciously slow it down. You will delay success. You will sabotage momentum. Not because you are flawed, because your system is protecting you from what it perceives as threat. The problem doesn't exist. Only dysregulation exists. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously, but only when your body agrees. Notice the difference between a shaky decision and a grounded one. A shaky decision sounds like this. I think I'm going to try. I hope this works. Let's see what happens. The posture is compressed. The jaw is tight. The breath is trapped in the chest. The eyes dart. The tone rises at the end of sentences as if asking permission. Now observe grounded certainty. The spine is upright but relaxed. The breath is slow and deep. The gaze is steady. The voice lands at the end of each sentence. There is no rush. There is no tremor. There is no internal negotiation. This is regulation. My body holds the frequency of inevitability. Say it internally. My body holds the frequency of inevitability. When your nervous system is regulated, expansion feels normal. Visibility feels safe. Wealth feels safe. Love feels safe. Responsibility feels safe. You are not chasing growth. You are inhabiting it. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That sensation is not anxiety. It is power without fear. Most people confuse activation with danger. Their heart rate increases, and they interpret it as risk. Their energy rises, and they call it stress. So they pull back. They shrink. But excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. The difference between anxiety and expansion is interpretation. When the body is trained to feel safe in growth, activation becomes fuel. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity requires safety. If your nervous system feels threatened, you close. You stop listening to impulses. You override intuition. You cling to control. But when your body feels safe, signals become clear. You may feel a calm urge to send a message to someone. You do it. They respond with an opportunity. You may feel drawn to attend an event. You go. You meet someone who has the exact resource you need. This is not coincidence. The solution is just a frequency away. And frequency is regulated through the body. Consider two entrepreneurs launching identical projects. One is internally tense. They obsess over outcomes. They check metrics every hour. Their sleep is restless. Their communication carries subtle urgency. The other is steady. They execute consistently. They trust the process. Their breathing is controlled. Their movements are deliberate. Both take action. Only one collapses timelines. Because certainty transmits through physiology. Reality is infinite. In an infinite field, your nervous system selects what you perceive and what you allow. If wealth feels unsafe, you will unconsciously filter it out. If love feels overwhelming, you will avoid the encounter. If leadership feels threatening, you will downplay your voice. The problem doesn't exist. The body simply needs recalibration. My body holds the frequency of inevitability. This is the calibration. Expansion is safe. Visibility is safe. Responsibility is safe. Receiving is safe. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Notice how that statement feels in your body. Does it land softly? Or does it create tension? Where there is tension, there is an old survival imprint. Your work is not to fight it. Your work is to regulate it. Slow your breathing. Inhale deeply. Exhale longer than you inhale. Drop your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Place your feet firmly on the ground. This is not a ritual. This is identity stabilization. Certainty requires a container. Your nervous system is that container. When the container is strong, energy expands without chaos. You can receive a large payment without panic. You can handle rapid growth without burnout. You can enter powerful rooms without shrinking. My body holds the frequency of inevitability. When that becomes true, hesitation dissolves. You walk into a room differently. Your movements are unhurried. Your tone is grounded. Your words are intentional. You are not scanning for approval. You are anchored. And when you are anchored, people feel it. They trust you faster. They respond more quickly. They collaborate more openly. Not because you force them, because your regulation signals stability. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously, but it must move through a regulated system. Think of your nervous system as the wiring. High voltage through weak wiring causes overload. High voltage through stable wiring powers cities. You are building stable wiring. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Why does this matter biologically? Because gratitude lowers stress hormones. Joy widens perception. Laughter relaxes muscular tension. These states tell the body, expansion is safe. When expansion is safe, opportunity accelerates. You might be walking down the street in this regulated state. Calm, open, present. Someone strikes up a conversation. They mention an opening at their company. They send you an email later that day. It feels seamless. It feels natural. It feels inevitable. That is regulation meeting opportunity. Or you wake up one morning with a quiet impulse to visit a specific cafe. No clear reason. You go. You sit. You overhear a conversation that contains exactly the information you were seeking. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. You did not force that moment. You were regulated enough to receive it. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity is impossible in fight or flight. So you stabilize. You breathe. You choose grounded posture. You speak slowly. You move deliberately. You let your body learn that growth is safe. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. This time, there is no fear attached, only momentum. Certainty is not loud. It is steady. It is not aggressive. It is composed. It does not rush. It does not plead. It does not chase. It receives. My body holds the frequency of inevitability. From this place, decisions land cleanly. Actions flow smoothly. Delays shorten. Conversations align. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Because your system is no longer resisting expansion. You are no longer negotiating safety. You are stabilized. You are grounded. You are receptive. You have trained your body to support your identity. Now that your system is regulated, we deepen the shift. Because once the body holds inevitability, you can access something even more powerful. You can access the version of you that already exists. Chapter 3. The version of you already exists. There is no future version of you being built. There is only a version being accessed. You are not climbing toward a distant identity. You are selecting from infinite available states. Reality is infinite. In an infinite field, every outcome already exists. Every expression of you is present. The confident one, the disciplined one, the wealthy one, the deeply loved one, the visionary leader. They are not ahead of you in time. They are aligned at a different frequency. The solution is just a frequency away. Most people think growth is construction. They imagine bricks being stacked slowly. They believe effort alone manufactures identity. But identity is not manufactured. It is chosen. I am not becoming. I am selecting. Say it internally. I am not becoming. I am selecting. This changes everything. When you believe you are becoming, you operate from lack. You reinforce distance. You measure progress obsessively. You question timelines. When you understand you are selecting, you operate from immediacy. You embody traits now. You stabilize behavior now. You speak as it now. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Because selection is faster than construction. Look at elite athletes. Before the medal, before the contract, before the championship, they see it, they rehearse it, they embody it. An Olympic sprinter does not wait for the podium to feel victorious. They visualize the finish line repeatedly. They experience the tape breaking across their chest and their mind. Their nervous system learns the identity of champion before the world confirms it. This is not fantasy. This is neurological priming. When the race arrives, the body recognizes the state. It has already been rehearsed. The performance flows because the identity has been selected. I am not becoming. I am selecting. Consider a CEO before their company scales, before revenue multiplies, before headlines appear, before the market validates the vision. They show up as the leader already. They communicate with clarity. They make decisions from expansion. They hold meetings with composure. They invest strategically. They do not act like someone hoping to succeed. They act like someone managing growth. The external results catch up. The problem doesn't exist. Only identity lag exists. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. When you select the prosperous identity, behaviors shift automatically. Spending becomes intentional. Opportunities become visible. Conversations become strategic. You do not force abundance. You align with it. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows selection. Imagine waking up tomorrow and deciding, I am the version of me who handles wealth with wisdom. You walk differently. You review your finances calmly. You make one empowered adjustment. You research one investment. You initiate one conversation. Small movements. Massive identity shift. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That energy reorganizes behavior. Behavior reorganizes outcomes. Outcomes confirm identity. This is acceleration. Many people delay their expansion because they are waiting for permission from evidence. They say, "When I have proof, I will believe." But belief precedes proof. Selection precedes manifestation. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Why? Because these states mirror the emotional baseline of your expanded self. The successful version of you is not anxious. The fulfilled version of you is not desperate. The aligned version of you is not chasing. They are grounded. They are grateful. They are energized. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. When you feel enthusiasm without visible evidence, you are selecting a timeline. You might walk down the street in this selected identity. Calm, certain, open. Someone approaches you unexpectedly. They offer collaboration. They mention a role. They share a resource. It feels synchronistic. It feels orchestrated. It feels like something dropped in from the quantum field. It did. The solution is just a frequency away. Or you might feel an unexplained pull to enroll in a specific course. You do not overthink it. You trust the impulse. Inside that space, you meet someone who introduces you to a life-changing opportunity. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Selection sharpens impulse recognition. When you operate as your expanded self, your filters change. You notice different conversations. You perceive different possibilities. You respond differently to the same environment. Two people can stand in the same room and see entirely different opportunities. Identity determines perception. Reality is infinite. From infinite possibilities, you are always selecting. If you identify as limited, you will notice constraints. If you identify as expansive, you will notice openings. The problem doesn't exist. There is only alignment. I am not becoming. I am selecting. This does not mean you pretend. It means you embody. If you select the disciplined version of you, you wake up and train. You select nourishing food. You schedule your priorities. You protect your focus. If you select the loving version of you, you communicate clearly. You express appreciation. You hold boundaries calmly. If you select the visionary version of you, you think long-term. You make bold moves. You speak with conviction. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Because identity is the cause. Time is the effect. When you stabilize into the chosen version, the external world reorganizes rapidly. People respond differently. Doors open faster. Momentum compounds. You are not forcing the universe. You are matching it. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. When this statement feels natural, selection becomes effortless. Notice how this removes struggle. You are not climbing a mountain. You are stepping into a room that already exists. You are not building worth. You are recognizing it. You are not chasing love. You are embodying it. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That kinetic energy magnetizes aligned experiences. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows you to receive guidance from the version you selected. Ideas surface more clearly. Decisions feel lighter. Timing becomes intuitive. The future self is not sending messages through time. You are tuning into a frequency that already holds the blueprint. I am not becoming. I am selecting. This is empowerment without pressure. You do not need 10 years. You need alignment. You do not need endless planning. You need clarity of identity. You do not need to earn your next level. You need to inhabit it. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. So choose deliberately. Select consciously. Stabilize completely. Because once you understand that your expanded self already exists, hesitation becomes unnecessary. And when hesitation dissolves, something powerful emerges. You begin to remove doubt entirely. Chapter 4. Collapse time by eliminating doubt. Doubt is division. Division is drag. Drag slows momentum. When your energy is split, your signal is weak. When your signal is weak, reality hesitates. Doubt equals split energy. Split energy equals delayed manifestation. This is not punishment. This is physics. Imagine pressing the accelerator and the brake at the same time. The engine strains. The vehicle jerks. Progress is inconsistent. Fuel burns quickly. That is what doubt does to your timeline. You say you want expansion. You say you are ready. You say you believe. But beneath the words, there is a quiet question. What if this fails? What if I am wrong? What if it doesn't work for me? Energy splits. And when energy splits, timelines stretch. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Because certainty is undivided. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Say it internally. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Doubt does not make you intelligent. It does not make you strategic. It does not protect you from loss. It only fragments your power. High-level investors understand this principle. They do not wait for absolute proof. If they did, the opportunity would already be priced in. They assess. They decide. They move. They adjust tactically, but their internal state is committed. They are not reckless. They are decisive. A seasoned investor studies the data, feels the alignment, and allocates capital. They do not spend months in emotional paralysis. They understand that movement creates feedback. Feedback creates refinement. Refinement accelerates mastery. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Leaders operate the same way. A CEO launching a bold initiative cannot stand before their team with hesitation in their voice. If their tone wavers, the organization feels it. Confidence must be embodied before results appear. They speak clearly. They outline the direction. They hold steady when challenges arise. They do not reevaluate the entire mission at the first sign of resistance. They trust their decision. The problem doesn't exist. Only divided focus exists. Creators demonstrate this principle constantly. A writer publishes before perfection. A filmmaker releases before universal approval. An artist shares before critics validate. They understand that waiting for guaranteed applause is a form of self-sabotage. They move without proof. And proof follows movement. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. When that statement is believed without hesitation, action becomes clean. Doubt whispers that you need more evidence. Certainty knows that evidence emerges through engagement. The solution is just a frequency away. But doubt lowers your frequency. When you question yourself repeatedly, your body tightens. Your breath shortens. Your voice loses depth. You send mixed signals into every interaction. People sense it. Opportunities sense it. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Eliminating doubt does not mean ignoring data. It means refusing to emotionally fragment after a decision is made. You can gather information calmly. You can assess risks intelligently. You can prepare strategically. But once you choose, you stand in it. You do not reopen the case every morning. You do not poll the world for reassurance. You do not seek permission from temporary discomfort. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up generating kinetic energy. That kinetic energy is uninterrupted when doubt is absent. Imagine walking down the street after making a firm decision about your next move. You are not scanning for confirmation. You are not wondering if you should turn back. Your posture is steady. Your pace is deliberate. You run into someone unexpectedly. They mention a project aligned with your goal. A meeting is scheduled. A door opens. It appears spontaneous. It is alignment. If you had been internally debating, you might have avoided eye contact. You might have declined the conversation. You might have missed the impulse. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Doubt dulls impulses. Certainty sharpens them. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity cannot coexist with constant internal questioning. When you are undecided, you close. You overanalyze. You hesitate to respond to opportunities because you are unsure of your own direction. When you are certain, you respond immediately. You might receive an email with an opportunity slightly outside your comfort zone. Doubt would tell you to wait. Certainty recognizes expansion and replies without delay. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Reality is infinite. Within infinite possibility, you are always transmitting a selection. Doubt transmits confusion. Certainty transmits clarity. Clarity organizes outcomes faster. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. These states reduce doubt because they reinforce trust. Gratitude says life supports me. Joy says expansion is natural. Laughter says I am safe. From safety, decisive movement flows. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. Excitement without doubt becomes propulsion. Excitement with doubt becomes anxiety. The difference is internal commitment. The problem doesn't exist. There is no external barrier conspiring against you. There is only the internal split asking for resolution. Resolve it. Choose once. Stand firm. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Let that statement land without argument. Notice how your body feels when you remove internal debate. Breathing deepens. Shoulders drop. Vision clears. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously because the brake is released. You no longer need reassurance before action. You no longer need applause before expression. You no longer need guaranteed outcomes before commitment. You move. You refine as you go. You adjust strategically while remaining emotionally anchored. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. This is how timelines compress. This is how opportunities accelerate. This is how momentum compounds. Eliminate doubt, and you eliminate drag. Remove internal contradiction, and you remove delay. Stand in decision, and reality reorganizes. You have learned to decide. You have stabilized your nervous system. You have selected your identity. Now you remove the final internal obstacle. Because certainty must be embodied before comfort arrives. And that requires movement before readiness. Chapter 5. Move before you feel ready. Readiness is not a prerequisite. It is a byproduct. Most people wait for confidence before they act. They assume clarity must arrive first. They believe courage must feel complete. They postpone movement until fear disappears. But confidence is created through motion, not contemplation, not preparation, not endless refinement. Confidence follows motion, not the other way around. You do not become certain and then act. You act, and certainty expands. I move, therefore certainty grows. Say it internally. I move, therefore certainty grows. Think of a child learning to walk. They do not wait to feel skilled. They stand. They wobble. They fall. They stand again. Strength develops through repetition. Movement builds capability. Capability builds trust. Trust builds certainty. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously, but certainty is amplified through execution. Entrepreneurs who succeed understand this instinctively. They do not wait for the perfect logo. They do not delay until the website is flawless. They do not postpone until every detail is optimized. They launch. They learn publicly. They refine in motion. Consider the founder who releases a simple version of their product. It is not polished. It is not complete. It is functional. They receive feedback. They improve. They expand. Within months, they outpace competitors who are still planning. Why? Because momentum compounds. The problem doesn't exist. Perfectionism is simply disguised hesitation. Another example. A content creator begins publishing videos with basic equipment. The lighting is imperfect. The editing is minimal. The message is clear. They post consistently. Audience grows. Skill improves naturally through repetition. Within a year, their influence multiplies. If they had waited for mastery, they would still be waiting. I move, therefore certainty grows. When you move, you gather data. When you gather data, you gain clarity. When clarity increases, doubt dissolves. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows action without overanalysis. There is a difference between recklessness and decisive movement. Recklessness ignores alignment. Decisive movement responds to it. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. You feel an urge to send the proposal. You send it. You feel drawn to apply for the opportunity. You apply. You feel called to start the conversation. You initiate. Action creates alignment points. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That kinetic energy feeds confidence. Stagnation drains it. Consider someone who wants to change careers but waits until they feel fully prepared. They read books. They watch tutorials. They visualize success. Years pass. Another person begins immediately. They take an entry-level step. They accept beginner status. They ask questions. They engage mentors. Within months, they have real-world experience. Experience outpaces theory. Reality is infinite. In an infinite field, opportunities respond to movement. The solution is just a frequency away. Action raises frequency. When you sit still in doubt, your signal weakens. When you move decisively, your signal strengthens. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. Excitement grows when you act. Think about the first time you entered a new environment. The gym, a stage, a boardroom. The first step felt intimidating. The second felt easier. The third felt natural. Exposure creates familiarity. Familiarity creates safety. Safety creates certainty. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Joy fuels bold movement. Gratitude reduces fear of outcome. Laughter softens intensity. These states make forward motion sustainable. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. When you believe this, you do not hesitate to act. You trust that resources will appear as needed. You might start a project without knowing every detail. As you move, someone offers assistance. An unexpected message arrives. A helpful video appears at the perfect moment. It feels synchronistic. It is alignment responding to motion. Imagine walking into a networking event before you feel fully confident. You introduce yourself clearly. You share your intention openly. Someone responds with enthusiasm. A collaboration forms. If you had stayed home waiting for readiness, that door would remain unseen. I move, therefore certainty grows. Movement clarifies identity. When you act as the disciplined version of you, discipline strengthens. When you act as the leader, leadership solidifies. When you act as the visionary, vision sharpens. Certainty is strengthened through repetition of aligned action. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously, and action accelerates that collapse. Waiting stretches time. Movement compresses it. The problem doesn't exist. There is no invisible wall holding you back. There is only paused energy waiting for direction. Direct it. Initiate. Engage. Refine in motion. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows you to act without demanding guarantees. You send the email. You schedule the meeting. You publish the idea. You submit the application. You take the first step. Confidence rises afterward. I move, therefore certainty grows. Feel the truth of that statement. Each action is a vote for your chosen identity. Each completed task reinforces belief. Each bold decision strengthens stability. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. Momentum becomes addictive. Progress becomes natural. Fear loses authority. Where there is movement, there is expansion. Where there is expansion, there is alignment. Where there is alignment, timelines compress. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. But you must step. You must initiate. You must act before comfort arrives. Because readiness is created by repetition. And repetition builds inevitability. You have eliminated doubt. You have chosen identity. Now you understand that action fuels certainty. But movement alone is not enough. You must sustain identity when external pressure rises. Chapter 6. Hold the identity under pressure. Certainty is easy in comfort. Certainty is proven in resistance. Anyone can feel aligned when results appear quickly. Anyone can feel confident when applause is loud. Anyone can feel powerful when validation flows. But silence reveals stability. Rejection exposes conviction. Uncertainty measures depth. Certainty is tested during silence, rejection, and uncertainty. This is not a threat. It is refinement. Pressure confirms me. Say it internally. Pressure confirms me. When you make a bold decision and immediate results do not appear, the nervous system wants to interpret silence as failure. When a proposal is declined, the ego wants to translate it as inadequacy. When timelines stretch slightly, the mind wants to reopen doubt. This is the moment identity either fractures or fortifies. The problem doesn't exist. External contradiction does not equal internal misalignment. It is simply feedback. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously, but only when certainty remains intact. Consider a leader launching a new initiative inside an organization. The first response from the team may be hesitation. Some may question the vision. A few may resist openly. If the leader absorbs that resistance emotionally, their tone changes. Their posture tightens. Their clarity weakens. Momentum slows. Now imagine the same leader grounded in identity. They listen calmly. They respond thoughtfully. They adjust strategically without abandoning the mission. They are not reactive. They are regulated. Pressure confirms me. Emotional regulation is mastery in motion. When rejection arrives, breathe slowly. Lengthen the exhale. Relax the shoulders. Maintain steady eye contact. Speak deliberately. Your body must communicate stability before your words do. Certainty is biological. If your heart rate spikes and you panic internally, the signal you transmit changes. If you remain grounded, the signal remains coherent. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity during pressure allows insight. Instead of reacting defensively, you ask, what is useful here? Instead of collapsing, you recalibrate. Instead of retreating, you refine. Pressure confirms me. Think of an entrepreneur pitching investors. Several decline. One criticizes the model. Another questions the market. The unregulated founder internalizes this and withdraws. The grounded founder evaluates the feedback objectively. They improve the pitch. They strengthen the numbers. They schedule the next meeting. Within months, funding closes. Silence did not stop them. Rejection did not define them. Uncertainty did not derail them. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Pressure attempts to reintroduce doubt. Your task is to remain undivided. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Gratitude in pressure is power. It signals to your nervous system that you are safe even without immediate evidence. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. Excitement does not disappear when conditions fluctuate. It stabilizes into quiet conviction. Imagine applying for a position aligned with your next-level identity. Days pass without response. The mind wants to interpret silence as rejection. Instead, you hold posture. You continue improving. You network. You expand skill. You move forward as if it is inevitable. Then the email arrives, or something better appears. The solution is just a frequency away. Silence is not denial. It is preparation. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. Pressure amplifies that energy if you remain steady. Think of steel forged in heat. Heat does not weaken it. Heat strengthens it. Pressure confirms me. You might experience a difficult conversation. Someone questions your ambition. Someone minimizes your vision. Someone projects their fear onto your expansion. You listen without absorbing. You respond without shrinking. You maintain composure. Your calm unsettles doubt. Your steadiness commands respect. The problem doesn't exist. There is no external force capable of dismantling a stabilized identity. Only internal agreement can do that. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Even under pressure, this remains true. Regulation during uncertainty is practical. Slow your breath. Soften your gaze. Unclench your jaw. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Speak slower than usual. These micro-adjustments stabilize the signal. Reality is infinite. Within infinite possibility, setbacks are temporary configurations. They are not final verdicts. They are directional adjustments. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Under pressure, impulses still arise. You may feel guided to call someone unexpectedly. That call leads to an opportunity. You may feel nudged to revisit an idea. That revision improves outcomes dramatically. If you collapse emotionally, you miss the impulse. If you remain steady, you receive it. Pressure confirms me. This statement transforms adversity into affirmation. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you affirm, "This is strengthening me." Instead of withdrawing, you expand capacity. Instead of retreating, you refine execution. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Pressure is not a barrier. It is acceleration disguised as discomfort. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. When doubt tries to re-enter through rejection, you close the door. When uncertainty tries to destabilize you, you anchor deeper. When silence tries to provoke fear, you breathe longer. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity during difficulty reveals unexpected paths. You might lose one opportunity only to discover a better, one aligned more precisely with your expansion. You might face criticism that sharpens your message and increases your impact. You might endure a temporary slowdown that prepares you for exponential growth. Pressure confirms me. You are not fragile. You are adaptable. You are not easily shaken. You are anchored. And when you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That energy is refined through resistance. Confidence that survives pressure becomes unshakable. Identity that withstands contradiction becomes permanent. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Because nothing interrupts the signal. You remain steady in silence. You remain composed in rejection. You remain focused in uncertainty. Pressure confirms me. You have learned to decide. You have regulated your system. You have selected identity. You have removed doubt. You have moved before readiness. Now you understand how to remain stable under resistance. Next, you will learn how language itself reinforces identity. Because what you speak determines what you stabilize. Chapter 7. Speak as the one who already has it. Language is identity made audible. Every sentence you speak reinforces a version of you. Words are not casual. They are commands. They instruct your nervous system. They inform your subconscious. They broadcast your frequency. If your language carries hesitation, your identity remains unstable. If your language carries certainty, your identity solidifies. I speak from inevitability. Say it internally. I speak from inevitability. Most people speak from hope. I hope this works. I'll try. If things go well, maybe it will happen. Hope sounds harmless, but hope implies uncertainty. Hope keeps outcomes distant. Certainty brings them closer. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously, and language is one of the fastest ways to generate certainty. Consider this subtle shift. If it works, becomes as it works. When it happens, becomes as it unfolds. I'll try becomes I will. Hopefully becomes certainly. These adjustments seem small. They are transformational. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Doubt often hides inside vocabulary. When you say, if this works, your body feels contingency. When you say, as this works, your body feels momentum. Certainty stabilizes physiology. Physiology stabilizes behavior. Behavior stabilizes outcomes. The problem doesn't exist. Only misaligned language exists. Language programs identity. If you repeatedly say, I'm bad with money, your system organizes to confirm it. If you often say, I struggle with discipline, your actions follow that script. Change the script. I manage money wisely. I follow through consistently. I execute daily. Speak in present tense. Speak in ownership. Speak as the one who already holds the trait. I am not becoming. I am selecting. And selection must be voiced. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Notice the difference between saying that casually and declaring it steadily. Tone matters. Volume matters. Pace matters. Certainty does not rush. It lands. Imagine an entrepreneur pitching a project. One says, we're hoping this will gain traction. Another says, this is scaling rapidly, and we're expanding strategically. Same stage, different language, different energy. Investors feel it. Teams feel it. Markets feel it. I speak from inevitability. Your private dialogue matters even more than your public speech. If internally you say, this is probably too hard, your system tightens. If internally you say, I handle complexity with clarity, your system expands. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Grateful language transforms reality. Instead of, why is this happening to me? Say, this is aligning me. Instead of, I'm overwhelmed, say, I'm expanding capacity. Instead of, this is stressful, say, this is sharpening me. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. When enthusiasm is verbalized, it strengthens belief. Say, I'm excited for what's unfolding. Say, opportunities are aligning. Say, momentum is building. Your brain searches for confirmation. Reality is infinite. Within infinite possibilities, your language filters experience. If you speak scarcity, you perceive limitation. If you speak expansion, you notice openings. The solution is just a frequency away, and words tune frequency instantly. Consider a practical example. You send a proposal to a potential client. Instead of saying, "Let me know if this works," you say, "I'm looking forward to implementing this." Instead of saying, "I hope you're interested," you say, "This aligns strongly with your goals." Subtle shifts. Massive difference. I speak from inevitability. This does not mean arrogance. It means alignment. Certainty does not dominate. It declares calmly. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. Language initiates that motion. You might walk into a meeting and introduce yourself differently. Not, "I'm trying to build something," but "I lead this initiative." Not, "I'm starting out," but "I'm expanding." People respond accordingly. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptive language invites collaboration. Say, "I welcome aligned partnerships." Say, "I'm open to strategic opportunities." This signals readiness. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. When your language aligns with inevitability, impulses surface more clearly. You might feel prompted to reach out to someone. You message them confidently. They reply with enthusiasm. A project begins. If you had spoken from doubt, you may have never sent the message. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Language removes doubt, even internally. Pay attention to filler phrases. Just, kind of, sort of, maybe. These dilute power. Remove them. State clearly. Stand firmly. I speak from inevitability. Notice how your body responds when you declare confidently. Posture straightens. Breath deepens. Voice stabilizes. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously, because your signal becomes coherent. The problem doesn't exist. Reality is not resisting you. It is reflecting you. Speak as the one who already has it. Speak as the one who already embodies it. Speak as the one who already leads it. You are not pretending. You are aligning. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Say it steadily. Feel it land. Language anchors identity. Identity shapes action. Action creates evidence. Evidence reinforces certainty. This is acceleration. You have mastered decision. You have regulated your system. You have selected identity. You have removed doubt. You have moved before readiness. You have stabilized under pressure. Now your language aligns with inevitability. But one final barrier often remains. A safety net that whispers escape. And that safety net must be examined. Chapter 8. Eliminate the backup plan. A backup plan feels responsible. It feels intelligent. It feels safe. But often, it is concealed doubt. When you create an emotional escape route, you inform your subconscious that the primary path is uncertain. You tell your nervous system not to commit fully. You divide your focus before you even begin. Backup plans signal doubt to the subconscious. And doubt splits energy. Split energy delays outcomes. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. But certainty requires commitment. This is happening. Say it internally. This is happening. There is a difference between strategy and escape. Strategy refines execution. Escape prepares retreat. Strategy says, "I will adjust tactics while staying aligned with the mission." Escape says, "If this becomes uncomfortable, I can withdraw." One strengthens identity. The other weakens it. The problem doesn't exist. Only divided allegiance exists. When you pursue something while simultaneously planning your exit, your behavior changes subtly. You invest less. You risk less. You persist less. You speak less boldly. People sense it. Opportunities sense it. Reality mirrors it. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Imagine an entrepreneur launching a business while secretly telling themselves, "If this doesn't work in 6 months, I'll quit." Their effort becomes cautious. Their marketing is timid. Their decisions are conservative. Now imagine another founder declaring internally, "This is happening." They refine relentlessly. They network aggressively. They solve problems creatively. They remain steady through fluctuations. One treats the mission as optional. The other treats it as inevitable. I am not becoming. I am selecting. When you select an identity, you do not design escape routes from it. A committed athlete does not train with the expectation of abandoning the season. A devoted partner does not nurture a relationship while planning departure. A visionary leader does not build culture while preparing to resign at the first obstacle. Commitment channels power. The solution is just a frequency away. But backup thinking lowers your frequency. It tells your body that retreat is acceptable. And when retreat is acceptable, resilience weakens. This is happening. This statement eliminates internal alternatives. It does not mean rigidity. It means resolve. Strategic action is different from emotional escape routes. Strategy asks, "How can I execute this more effectively?" Escape asks, "How can I protect myself from discomfort?" Strategy builds momentum. Escape protects fear. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity with commitment is powerful. You may feel guided to pivot slightly within your path. That is strategic refinement. You may adjust timing or format. That is intelligent calibration. But you do not abandon identity. You do not withdraw belief. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Joy and commitment generate stamina. Gratitude stabilizes patience. Laughter softens intensity. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. Enthusiasm fades when you mentally rehearse failure. It strengthens when you declare inevitability. This is happening. Consider someone pursuing a major career shift. They update their resume but keep telling friends, "It's probably temporary." They apply for positions but secretly assume rejection. Now imagine the same person speaking differently. "I'm transitioning fully. I'm stepping into this role." This is aligned. Their posture shifts. Their networking becomes deliberate. Their interviews carry conviction. Language reinforces commitment. Commitment reinforces momentum. Reality is infinite. Within infinite possibilities, your level of devotion selects your experience. If your energy is partial, your results are partial. If your energy is whole, your results accelerate. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Impulses arrive more clearly when there is no escape hatch. If you allow yourself to quit easily, you will ignore inspired action when it feels inconvenient. If you declare commitment, you follow through on subtle guidance. You might feel drawn to attend an event you initially dismissed. Because you are committed, you go. There, you meet someone who offers the exact connection you need. It feels orchestrated. It is alignment meeting dedication. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Believing this reduces the urge for backup thinking. When you trust that resources will appear, you do not cling to safety nets. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That energy intensifies when there is no internal exit. Consider a bridge behind you being lifted, not destroyed, but elevated beyond casual return. You can still choose differently later if alignment truly shifts, but you are not rehearsing retreat daily. This is happening. Feel the firmness of that statement. Not aggressive, not desperate, calm, stable, certain. The problem doesn't exist. Life is not testing you. It is responding to your depth of commitment. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Backup plans whisper doubt. Commitment silences it. This does not mean ignoring wisdom. It means separating planning from fear. You can diversify income streams without emotionally expecting failure. You can prepare contingencies without anchoring in collapse. You can remain flexible without diluting identity. Flexibility is strength. Escape is weakness. This is happening. When you operate from this declaration, something shifts internally. Your focus sharpens. Your discipline increases. Your creativity expands. You stop asking whether it will work. You start asking how to optimize. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Because divided focus no longer fragments your power. You have decided. You have regulated. You have selected. You have removed doubt. You have acted before readiness. You have remained steady under pressure. You have aligned your language. Now you have eliminated retreat. Your commitment is whole. From here, expansion accelerates. Next, you will learn how to embody prosperity before physical evidence confirms it. Because identity must precede income. Chapter 9. Embody wealth before it arrives. Wealth is not a number. It is a self-concept. Money reflects identity. It does not create it. Most people believe income generates confidence. They assume abundance produces stability. They think financial overflow will finally allow them to relax into power. But wealth is a self-concept, not a bank balance. The balance follows the concept. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. And certainty around prosperity begins internally. I hold the standard now. Say it within. I hold the standard now. If you wait for external evidence before elevating your standards, you postpone expansion. If you elevate your standards before evidence appears, you accelerate expansion. Standards determine decisions. Decisions determine outcomes. Outcomes determine income. The problem doesn't exist. There is no shortage blocking you. There is only an identity asking to be upgraded. Wealthy identity expresses itself in behavior long before financial confirmation. Consider someone who identifies as financially empowered. They review their accounts regularly without fear. They track expenses with clarity. They invest in growth strategically. They choose long-term benefit over short-term impulse. These behaviors may begin when income is modest, but they compound. Another example. A person who sees themselves as abundant does not negotiate their worth downward. They communicate pricing confidently. They deliver value consistently. They refine their skills continuously. They act as someone who respects their own contribution. Revenue rises to meet that respect. I hold the standard now. Notice the difference between someone waiting for money and someone embodying wealth. The first delays self-care until income increases. They postpone education until profits rise. They delay environment upgrades until someday. The second elevates posture immediately. They maintain their space with pride. They invest in learning even at small scale. They surround themselves with excellence. Identity shapes environment. Environment reinforces identity. Reality is infinite. Within infinite possibilities, wealth is not scarce. The solution is just a frequency away. If wealth feels distant, examine your self-concept. Do you see yourself as someone who handles expansion responsibly? Do you trust yourself with larger sums? Do you believe you can manage influence wisely? You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Let that statement settle deeply. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen? as you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. That kinetic energy attracts aligned opportunities. Imagine walking into a negotiation already embodying prosperity. Your voice is steady. Your requests are clear. Your boundaries are firm but respectful. You are not asking for charity. You are offering value. People respond accordingly. Or picture someone choosing to learn about investing before they have large capital. They study markets. They understand assets. They observe patterns. When additional income arrives, they are prepared. Preparation signals readiness. Readiness invites expansion. I hold the standard now. Standards apply beyond money. How do you treat your time? How do you speak about finances? Do you complain constantly, or do you express gratitude? The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Gratitude for current resources amplifies future resources. Complaining contracts flow. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. Enthusiasm about growth signals that you trust yourself with more. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows opportunities to appear naturally. You might meet someone casually who introduces you to a new income stream. You might discover a practical video explaining a skill that increases your earning potential. You might receive a message about a collaboration that expands reach. It feels synchronized. It is identity meeting possibility. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. You feel guided to upgrade your presentation. You redesign your portfolio. A higher-paying client notices. You feel prompted to attend a workshop. A connection there leads to partnership. Movement follows embodiment. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. If you doubt your worth, you undercharge. If you question your value, you overdeliver without boundaries. If you fear loss, you cling to scarcity thinking. Release doubt. Raise standards. I hold the standard now. This does not mean reckless spending. It means intentional alignment. A wealthy self-concept chooses quality over excess. It values clarity over chaos. It plans thoughtfully. It invests wisely. It saves strategically. It does not chase appearances. It embodies stability. The problem doesn't exist. There is no invisible barrier preventing wealth. There is only identity calibration. When you embody prosperity, even small amounts are handled with respect. Bills are paid on time. Savings are prioritized. Opportunities are evaluated calmly. This builds internal trust. Internal trust expands capacity. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. When you see yourself as abundant, you recognize possibilities faster. You speak confidently about your services. You negotiate assertively. You invest courageously. Money responds to self-perception. You are not waiting for wealth. You are aligning with it. I am not becoming. I am selecting. Select the prosperous identity now. Walk as it. Speak as it. Decide as it. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. Momentum builds. Confidence stabilizes. Income increases. Not by accident, by alignment. I hold the standard now. This statement transforms delay into acceleration. It removes waiting. It replaces hesitation with ownership. You have eliminated doubt. You have removed escape. You have aligned language. Now you embody prosperity before proof. Next, you must ensure that this upgraded identity remains stable daily. Because identity strengthens through repetition. Chapter 10. Stabilize your self-image daily. Identity is fluid. Without reinforcement, it drifts. Without attention, it reverts to old patterns. Your nervous system defaults to habitual thought, speech, and action. If your expanded self is not rehearsed consistently, the body, mind, and energy begin returning to prior frequencies. You do not want that. You must stabilize daily. I reinforce who I have chosen to be. Say it internally. I reinforce who I have chosen to be. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Repetition is the vehicle. Consistency is the accelerator. The first moments after waking are critical. Morning sets the tone. Before interacting with emails, messages, news, or obligations, spend a few minutes anchoring yourself. Visualize the person you have selected to be. See them moving through the day effortlessly. See them speaking with authority. See them handling opportunities with composure. See abundance flowing freely into their life. The problem doesn't exist. This is not imagination. This is frequency tuning. The solution is just a frequency away. Morning repetition sets the signal clearly for the day. You might speak affirmations aloud. I handle expansion with clarity. I attract aligned opportunities. I am calm, certain, and unstoppable. Then move into physical embodiment. Posture straightened, chest open, shoulders relaxed, breath deep. These small acts encode identity into the body. Every gesture, every inhale, every muscle contributes. Even micro-expressions send signals to your nervous system. Every interaction throughout the day is then filtered through this stabilized self-image. I reinforce who I have chosen to be. Evening rituals are equally powerful. Before sleep, review your day. Celebrate alignment. Notice where identity was expressed effortlessly. Notice where small adjustments reinforced it further. Let gratitude dominate the reflection. Gratitude confirms that expansion is already occurring. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. If you struggled with identity alignment during the day, acknowledge, reset, and re-anchor. Sleep becomes a consolidation period. Neural pathways are strengthened during rest. Habits encoded during the day are reinforced. Identity solidifies at the subconscious level. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows alignment to integrate naturally. Even minor repetitions compound into exponential internal stability. Consider someone practicing morning visualization for 10 minutes. They stand firmly. They imagine success. They articulate affirmations. By evening, their energy is already tuned. They experience interactions differently. Opportunities appear aligned. Momentum builds. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Daily reinforcement makes these impulses more visible. Without stabilization, impulses might go unnoticed. With stabilization, clarity increases. You notice subtleties. You act decisively. Your environment adapts to your energy. Your body learns the frequency of your chosen self. I reinforce who I have chosen to be. Repeat internally. Repeat physically. Repeat emotionally. Even small daily acts, like setting intentions before breakfast, communicating confidently in a conversation, or adjusting posture during a meeting matter. They are encoding moments. They teach the body and mind who you are. Language amplifies this process. Speak in the present tense. Speak from selection. I am successful. I am abundant. I am grounded. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Consistency over time stabilizes identity so deeply that external circumstances cannot shake it. Challenges are handled with composure. Pressure does not disrupt. Rejection does not derail. Silence does not unsettle. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. These emotional anchors sustain identity. They reinforce the chosen self-image repeatedly. Even tiny rituals, repeated daily, accumulate kinetic energy in your nervous system. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen? is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. Momentum becomes automatic. Stabilization prevents regression. It ensures that identity chosen today persists tomorrow. I reinforce who I have chosen to be. Do not underestimate the power of repeated anchoring. Your self-image dictates action. Action dictates results. Results reinforce identity. Daily repetition accelerates the cycle. You have eliminated doubt. You have moved before readiness. You have embodied wealth. You have stabilized under pressure. You have aligned language. Now you reinforce the self-image daily. This is mastery of identity. Chapter 11. Act from power, not validation. Approval is seductive. It promises reassurance. It feels comforting in the moment. But dependence on external validation fragments your energy. Needing approval weakens certainty. When every decision is filtered through the lens of others' opinions, momentum slows. Action becomes hesitant. Confidence is compromised. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. I approve of myself first. Say it internally. I approve of myself first. Creators who achieve extraordinary outcomes understand this instinctively. They release work before universal praise arrives. They publish, perform, or launch without waiting for recognition. They anticipate criticism. They welcome feedback, but do not let it dictate movement. Their decisions are anchored in internal alignment, not external applause. Imagine a writer submitting a manuscript while knowing some readers may reject it. They focus on the truth of the story. They trust its value. They move forward without pausing for validation. Momentum compounds when approval is unnecessary. I approve of myself first. Your voice is strongest when it is unfiltered by fear of judgment. Social media, colleagues, family, even mentors, opinions are inevitable. Listening selectively is strategic. Relying on them is costly. The problem doesn't exist. The only obstacle is internal consent to external critique. When energy is diverted to seeking approval, opportunities slow. When energy is aligned to self-approval, action accelerates. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity is clarity in motion. It allows impulses to be followed without hesitation. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Consider a musician releasing a song despite anticipated backlash. They perform anyway. Fans respond. Industry opportunities arise. Critics express opinions. The musician does not falter. Momentum continues. When you move in knowing, what starts to happen is you start to feel every quantum particle, every atom in your being speed up, generating kinetic energy. Your signal becomes coherent. Needing others' approval is like walking with weights on your legs. Every step requires extra effort. Every opportunity encounters friction. Acting from power eliminates that drag. I approve of myself first. Anchor it deeply. Decisions are made. Projects are launched. Conversations occur. Not because someone else will validate them. Because your alignment dictates action. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. When enthusiasm is unshaken by criticism, clarity strengthens. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Gratitude allows you to see value in action, regardless of external recognition. Joy sustains momentum when feedback is mixed. Laughter keeps perspective. Opportunities mirror your energy. If your vibration depends on external approval, outcomes fluctuate. If your vibration depends on self-approval, outcomes accelerate. Consider an entrepreneur pitching a bold idea. They anticipate skepticism. They anticipate doubt. They anticipate resistance. And yet they speak with authority. They lead with conviction. Their energy compels attention. Their vision attracts alignment. Momentum multiplies. The problem doesn't exist. Feedback is data, not definition. Criticism is information, not identity. Praise is encouragement, not requirement. I approve of myself first. Even when ignored, even when opposed, even when misunderstood. Internal approval provides stability. External opinions fluctuate. Internal alignment endures. When you operate from this state, inspired actions surface more clearly. The perfect impulse may appear as a phone call, an unexpected meeting, or an email that shifts your trajectory. You follow it without hesitation. You act decisively, not reactively. Momentum compounds. Energy remains undivided. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. I approve of myself first. Feel the firmness in the statement. Let it resonate in posture, breath, and tone. Every step, every word, every action becomes an affirmation of identity. You do not ask for permission. You do not seek reassurance. You do not wait for applause. You decide. You act. You move in knowing. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. You are fully empowered. External voices inform, not define. Your authority comes from alignment, not applause. Excitement fuels action. Clarity guides execution. Momentum sustains expansion. The problem doesn't exist. Only alignment determines outcomes. You have removed doubt. You have embodied wealth. You have stabilized identity. You have eliminated backup plans. You have aligned language. Now you act from power, not validation. Next, we will explore how to expand influence by magnetizing aligned people and opportunities effortlessly. Chapter 12. Detach from time, attached to identity. Time is an illusion you often obey. When you obsess over when, you reinforce lack. You ask, when will this happen? When will I succeed? When will I receive what I deserve? These questions focus attention on absence. They scatter energy. They delay outcomes. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Shift your attention instead. Focus on who you are being. Your identity dictates momentum. Your identity determines alignment. Your identity directs opportunity. Time bends to identity. Say it internally. Time bends to identity. Notice the difference between living by a clock and living by who you are becoming. When you operate as your future self today, the universe responds. A CEO moves with authority before promotions exist. An athlete trains with the discipline of a champion before trophies arrive. A creator produces at the level of influence they desire before recognition appears. Identity precedes manifestation. The problem doesn't exist. Obsession with schedules, deadlines, or arbitrary dates fragments attention. Energy is divided between presence and future expectation. Detach from the obsession with when. Anchor in being. Time bends to identity. Your nervous system adjusts when your focus is on being rather than timing. You feel more grounded. You act with clarity. You make decisions aligned with your selected self. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows your chosen identity to magnetize the circumstances, people, and resources necessary. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. When you act from identity, inspired impulses arise naturally. A subtle nudging guides your next step. You may receive a call, an email, or an opportunity out of nowhere. It is not coincidence. It is alignment. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Those who obsess over when often miss these impulses. They are distracted by time rather than presence. They wait for conditions that already exist in energy but have not yet appeared physically. Time bends to identity. Anchor your posture, tone, and internal dialogue in your future self. Speak as the one who already has it. Act as the one who already is it. Behave in a way that matches the standard you have set for yourself. The solution is just a frequency away. Every action becomes a vote for your selected self. Every decision reinforces identity. Every choice strengthens alignment. Your attention creates the present. Your identity determines how the present unfolds. The problem doesn't exist. Time is neutral. Identity is active. Detach from timelines. Detach from schedules. Detach from deadlines. Focus entirely on who you are being. Notice how the body responds. Breath deepens. Heart rate steadies. Nervous system stabilizes. Energy aligns with expansion. I hold the standard now. I am the one who commands momentum. Time bends to identity. Momentum accelerates naturally. Opportunities arrive seemingly early. People respond effortlessly to your frequency. Resources appear without force. The universe mirrors the self-image you embody. Internal consistency replaces external measurement. Even when results have not yet materialized, your energy is fully aligned. This is mastery over time. This is mastery over expectation. This is mastery over self. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. By choosing identity over timeline, you stabilize action. You strengthen confidence. You amplify momentum. You magnetize all that you need. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Detach from urgency. Detach from waiting. Detach from calendar constraints. Anchor in the frequency of your chosen identity. Time bends to identity. Every breath, every thought, every motion aligns with your future self. You do not become. You select. You act. You embody. Time bends to identity. Next, we will explore how to combine this embodiment with deliberate energy management to sustain high-frequency action indefinitely. Chapter 13. Reframe delays as alignment. Delays are not denials. They are recalibrations. They are the universe adjusting circumstances to match your frequency. When timelines appear extended, it does not mean failure. It means alignment is being prepared. Everything accelerates for me. Say it internally. Everything accelerates for me. Most people interpret waiting as limitation. They ask, why hasn't it happened yet? They feel frustration. They feel anxiety. They feel doubt. All of these emotions fracture energy. All of these emotions delay results. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Now, imagine a creator whose first book was rejected multiple times. They could have assumed it was a dead end. Instead, they recognized that each rejection refined their craft. Each no improved clarity. Each delay sharpened insight. The final publication did not arrive early. It arrived perfectly aligned with opportunity. Everything accelerates for me. Even apparent setbacks are part of preparation. Consider an entrepreneur whose major funding was postponed for months. Instead of panicking, they improved their proposal, built additional partnerships, and strengthened their market presence. When approval finally came, it triggered exponential growth. The delay was not a hindrance, it was essential timing. Reframe delays. See them as alignment, not denial. Notice the difference between resistance and patience. Resistance feels heavy. Patience feels strategic. Patience maintains energy while the universe organizes conditions. I am not becoming. I am selecting. Delays allow opportunity to match frequency. They create the perfect conditions for the perfect impulse. You may feel nudged to wait, observe, or refine. Do not resist it. Do not misinterpret it. Everything accelerates for me. Small adjustments now prevent bigger obstacles later. Delays allow the nervous system to stabilize in the future self. They ensure that the energy you project aligns with the results you intend. Consider an athlete injured before a championship. Time off feels like a setback. Yet in recovery, strength is built, skills are refined, and awareness expands. When return occurs, performance surpasses expectation. The problem doesn't exist. Nothing is lost in delay. Every moment is adding value beneath the surface. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity during pauses reveals unseen opportunities. A casual meeting during a slow period may introduce the perfect partner. A video stumbled upon while waiting may teach a critical skill. A seemingly late email may contain the exact solution you need. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. Delays are not resistance, they are preparation. Everything accelerates for me. Internal perception matters more than external pacing. If you feel rushed, energy is scattered. If you feel aligned, even waiting propels forward momentum. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. Frustration never aligns with expansion. Gratitude and curiosity amplify flow. Notice how your body relaxes when you accept alignment over timing. Posture opens. Breath deepens. Tone stabilizes. Energy concentrates. You begin to see synchronistic signs. Doors that seemed closed appear open. People you need cross paths. Resources that felt absent show up. All because you reframed the delay. The universe is always in motion. You are not behind. You are aligning. Where there is no doubt, there is no delay. Everything accelerates for me. Repeat it until it resonates fully. Delays now feel supportive. Obstacles now feel instructive. Waiting becomes an active state of creation. You act decisively when movement is required. You rest strategically when movement is unnecessary. Timing becomes irrelevant. Your frequency dictates results. Your identity attracts opportunity. The problem doesn't exist. Only impatience misleads perception. Every setback contains instruction. Every pause contains alignment. Every late occurrence carries precision. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Everything accelerates for me. Momentum compounds naturally. Opportunities manifest effortlessly. Your focus on alignment produces acceleration. By reframing delays, you remove fear. You remove doubt. You remove wasted energy. You have stabilized identity. You have eliminated backup plans. You have embodied wealth. You have acted from power. Now, you view timing through the lens of alignment. Next, you will learn how to integrate all previous practices into a unified system for unstoppable manifestation. Chapter 14. Dominate your internal dialogue. Your mind is constantly speaking. Thoughts arrive without invitation. They can uplift or derail. Self-talk determines energetic stability. Every fleeting idea carries weight. A single hesitant thought can fracture momentum. A confident thought can accelerate outcomes. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. My thoughts obey me. Say it internally. My thoughts obey me. Passive thinking weakens presence. Maybe this will work. I hope I can handle it. What if it fails? These statements leak energy. They fragment focus. They reduce the frequency of certainty. Commanding statements strengthen identity. I am fully capable. I execute with precision. I am aligned with the outcome. Every declarative sentence broadcasts your frequency. Internal dialogue is invisible influence. It guides posture, tone, and action without conscious awareness. If internal speech is uncertain, external behavior follows. If internal speech is dominant, external reality conforms. The problem doesn't exist. The only challenge is unconscious acquiescence. Passive thoughts are default programming. You must override it consciously. My thoughts obey me. Notice every time hesitation arises. Every what if or maybe is a signal to reclaim control. Replace it immediately with affirmation. I move forward decisively. I trust alignment. I hold the frequency of certainty. Repetition cements dominance. Think it. Speak it internally. Feel it in your body. Language shapes physiology. Physiology reinforces neural pathways. Neural pathways encode identity. Momentum compounds. Consider an athlete before a crucial game. Internal doubt reduces coordination. Internal clarity sharpens precision. Every micromovement is influenced by self-talk. Every decision is filtered through the mind. Your internal dialogue is the governor of energy. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows commands to translate into subtle behavioral adjustments. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. When your thoughts are aligned, impulses are recognized instantly. You act decisively. You move without hesitation. You speak with authority. Momentum builds naturally. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. When self-talk reinforces alignment, confidence stabilizes. Doubt cannot penetrate a dominated internal system. Your body responds. Breath deepens. Posture stabilizes. Eyes focus. Voice resonates. Every choice is an affirmation. Even when external conditions fluctuate, internal stability persists. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Notice moments of distraction. Notice fear, worry, or comparison creeping in. Acknowledge it. Replace it immediately with command. I am capable. I am aligned. I act with precision. My thoughts obey me. Dominance over thought is not force. It is awareness plus selection. You notice passive statements. You replace them with aligned ones. You enforce identity internally before expressing it externally. Time becomes irrelevant. Obstacles transform into signals. Challenges become accelerators. Internal dialogue sets frequency. Frequency attracts opportunity. Opportunity manifests reality. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. I am capable of attracting all that is necessary for me to prosper. Every thought obeyed strengthens alignment. Every hesitation eliminated compounds acceleration. By dominating internal dialogue, you integrate decision, certainty, identity, and embodiment. You have removed doubt. You have embodied wealth. You have stabilized identity. You have acted from power. You have detached from time. You have reframed delays. Now, internal dialogue amplifies all previous practices. My thoughts obey me. Anchor it deeply. This mastery completes the foundation for unstoppable manifestation. Next, we will bring everything together to ignite immediate results in your external world. Chapter 15. Live as if it is done. This is the ultimate state. Relaxed certainty. You do not chase. You do not struggle. You do not plead with life. You act with calm authority. It is already mine. Say it internally. It is already mine. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Living as if it is done means your nervous system has fully accepted outcome. You feel no urgency. You feel no desperation. You are aligned with inevitability. Compare calm conviction to frantic pursuit. The first carries clarity. The second carries tension. Calm conviction attracts effortlessly. Frantic pursuit repels subtly. A CEO launches a project knowing it will succeed. They navigate obstacles with ease. Their focus is on solutions, not fear. A young artist prepares for an exhibition with certainty that recognition is inevitable. They exhibit with confidence. They network without anxiety. The difference between acting from inevitability and acting from lack is energy, not effort. Effort without alignment is heavy. Effort with alignment is effortless. It is already mine. When you live as if it is done, every decision reflects completion. You speak with ownership. You behave with authority. You carry yourself with ease. The universe recognizes this signal. Doors open naturally. People align spontaneously. Opportunities arrive without force. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to be in a state of receptivity. Receptivity allows what is aligned to manifest. The perfect impulse is the inspired action that bears good fruit. It arrives in perfect timing. It is acted upon instantly. No hesitation, no overthinking, no doubt. Excitement and enthusiasm is positive expectation. It's holding the frequency of certainty. Even when challenges arise, calm conviction persists. You do not resist the flow. You adjust with poise. You respond with clarity. Your body embodies presence. Breath is steady. Posture is relaxed. Eyes are focused. Voice is grounded. The frequency of your focus must always be set upon joy, laughter, happiness, gratitude. Gratitude reinforces the reality you are already experiencing internally. Joy stabilizes momentum. Laughter keeps vibration high. It is already mine. Every action is a reflection of that statement. You invest boldly. You execute decisively. You pursue opportunities strategically. You maintain patience simultaneously. The problem doesn't exist. Time bends naturally when you act as if outcome is inevitable. You have removed doubt. You have eliminated backup plans. You have embodied wealth. You have acted from power. You have stabilized identity. You have aligned language. You have reframed delays. You have dominated internal dialogue. Now, living as if it is done completes the system. Your energy is coherent. Your mind is focused. Your body is aligned. Your actions reflect certainty. The universe mirrors your state. Every quantum particle in your being accelerates. Momentum compounds continuously. Results unfold naturally. All necessary resources converge effortlessly. Every perfect impulse lands at the exact right moment. Obstacles are merely calibration. Setbacks are invisible lessons. Everything reinforces your inevitability. It is already mine. Feel it fully in posture, tone, and breath. Anchor it daily. Live from it continuously. The energy of certainty collapses timelines instantaneously. Every day becomes evidence. Every step reinforces alignment. Every interaction confirms identity. You do not wait. You do not negotiate. You do not plead. You are complete in this frequency. It is already mine. This is the state of mastery. This is the state of unstoppable manifestation. The world responds naturally to who you are being. The perfect life you have envisioned already exists in energy. Step into it fully. Move from it continuously. Live it daily. Act from inevitability. It is already mine. Momentum compounds infinitely. Expansion accelerates naturally. You are aligned completely. You are in the flow of certainty. You are capable of attracting all that is necessary for you to prosper. It is already mine. This concludes the practice, the embodiment, and the journey. All that remains is to act consistently, deliberately, and aligned. You are the force. You are the frequency. You are the result. It is already mine. In closing, you now understand the truth. Time was never the barrier. Doubt was. Hesitation was. Internal negotiation was. And today that ends. You have learned that certainty is not emotion. It is identity. You have learned that your nervous system must hold inevitability. You have learned that your words must declare it. Your posture must confirm it. Your actions must reinforce it. You have learned that your future self is not ahead of you. It is available to you. And the only distance between you and that version is the strength of your decision. You do not need more time. You need more certainty. You do not need more information. You need more embodiment. You do not need more permission. You need more ownership. Right now, as this ends, you have a choice. You can close this and return to negotiation. Or you can close this and decide that your old timeline is over. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Now, say it internally. I hold certainty. Again, I hold certainty. From this moment forward, you do not chase. You do not doubt. You do not explain. You move. You embody. You command. And as you do, reality reorganizes. Timelines collapse. Opportunities accelerate. And the version of you that once felt distant becomes your baseline. This is your challenge. For the next 30 days, eliminate internal negotiation completely. No second-guessing. No backup identities. No shrinking. Hold the energy of certainty every single day until reality has no choice but to conform. Decide, and watch what happens.